What's up guys, my name is Ace, and it's leak time for Modern Warfare. There have been a ton of leaks from people that have physical copies of the game. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get my hands on an early copy yet, at least. I know a lot of YouTubers were sent out copies, but with me being over here in Norway, I don't know when that's going to arrive. So it doesn't look like I'm getting the game early this time. But for those people that do have the physical copies early, there was a patch yesterday that unlocked offline modes within the game. At least at the time of recording this video, the servers still aren't up yet, but people do have access to the game in an offline environment. And with these leaks, there have been some very important changes that we've seen since the beta for the launch build of the game. And in today's video, I just wanted to talk about those a little bit. Now, keep in mind, we are expecting a post, I believe tomorrow, from Infinity Ward. Ashton Williams confirmed this. And this post will be outlining all of the changes they made from the beta build till launch. And I will be sure to cover that once we get it. So this isn't a comprehensive list of everything that necessarily changed from the beta till now. Just a few key things that I've noticed from seeing these leaks on Reddit and Twitter and a few other places online. Also, just in case you're wondering, this video is going to be spoiler-free. I'm just talking about a few little tweaks and changes that were made to the multiplayer gameplay. This shouldn't spoil anything for anyone. I won't be posting any of these leaks directly in the video because I don't want to get in trouble with Activision. So I'm just going to be talking about the leaks rather than sharing them directly. The first one that was picked up from some early gameplay that was posted on Reddit is they zoomed out the minimap. So in the beta, they added the minimap into the game, but it was the most zoomed in we have ever seen a minimap, and therefore you couldn't really see much around you. With the full build of the game, based on early leaked gameplay, they definitely zoomed the minimap out, and in my opinion, this is excellent news. Now, it does also look like dots are still not appearing on the radar unless you have a personal radar or UAV up. And the compass is still there, just like it was in the beta, so they didn't change anything in that way, but at least they did zoom out the minimap, which is a really big change in my opinion. This brings us to the next thing that I immediately noticed while watching some leaked gameplay that I saw posted online. And that is, it looks like a lot of the visibility issues have been completely resolved. So if you guys remember from the beta, there were several situations in several areas where if you were outside looking into certain areas, it was completely like pitch black. You couldn't see anything going on inside. And that really harmed gameplay in my opinion. People could really blend in inside of rooms, and that just encouraged camping and discouraged people from moving around because people might be hiding in a dark corner that you can't see. At this point, I've seen some leaked gameplay that has clearly shown some areas that were problem areas within the beta, and they look like they were in a much better place within the full build of the game. Like, they're still a little bit dark, but it doesn't seem like they'll be nearly as much of a problem as we saw in the beta. The next thing that was found by leakers that directly affects the gameplay is claymores appear to be much more visible in the launch build of the game. If you guys remember from the beta, the lasers on the claymore were really faint and they weren't very long as well, and therefore seeing claymores was very, very difficult in a lot of situations. Now, based on the leaks that I saw on Reddit, it appears that the claymores look much more like they did in Modern Warfare 2. So the lasers are quite clear, and you will have to be a little bit more careful about concealing your claymores, and this is also great news for gameplay as well. I feel like the claymores were way too powerful within the beta build of the game, and I don't mind them being somewhat powerful. I just like it when there's some proper counterplay mixed in there, where you have to actually conceal your claymores and be careful about how you place them, rather than just throwing them down pretty much anywhere and having them very, very difficult to see for anybody that might be looking for them. This brings us to the next thing that I noticed with some leaked early gameplay. It appears that black and white screen when you get hurt in Modern Warfare has been significantly toned down. So when you get hurt in the game, you still lose some saturation based on what I've seen, but it doesn't appear to go full-on black and white anymore, which is also really good news. I feel like it was just completely overkill within the beta build of the game. I feel like you're at a big enough of a disadvantage just by being hurt, and they don't have to essentially blind you at the same time every time you're shot. It almost felt like in the beta, if you got hurt pretty bad, it was like you were also flashbanged at the same time, because it just made seeing things so much more difficult, which is just unnecessary in my opinion, and takes away from the gameplay experience. So again, another really good quality of life change that they've made that I think will help the gameplay out quite a bit. Now this brings us to the last thing I wanted to mention in today's video. Like I said, there's going to be a lot more changes that I'll be covering once we get that official post from Infinity Ward. But there was a leak of some of the menus, and one of the options in the menu is a connection meter. So it looks like, just like with Black Ops 4, you will be able to manually turn on that connection meter and see your own ping to the host. Personally, I'm really glad that we can actually see our own connection to the host, but it isn't quite as good as being able to pull up the lobby leaderboard and see everybody in the game and see what their ping is to the host. Because oftentimes the inconsistencies and problems with connections in game don't have anything to do with your ping, they have to do with the other people's ping in the game. But at least we will be able to see our own ping, which is a little bit of a relief because we didn't have access to that in the beta. Now, that's not to say that they worked out all of the connection issues that I personally had in the beta, and I know a lot of other people did as well. Not everybody, but a lot of people were having problems in the beta. We don't know if that's fixed at this point. We will have to get our hands on the game and play it for a little while to get a good feel for that. But in either case, at least we will have access to see our own ping in-game. And with that, that's where I'm going to wrap up today's video. I don't want to spoil anything else that I've seen via leaks. I just wanted to cover some of these key changes that I feel will make a really big difference to gameplay, because for a lot of these were my biggest complaints throughout the beta build of the game, and it looks like for many of them, they have been addressed properly. But of course, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about these changes that they've apparently made since the beta build of the game? Are you generally happy with these changes? Are there some other changes you're hoping for that weren't mentioned in this video? Just let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, I guess it's a good time to tell you that tomorrow I will be absolutely spamming your sub box, so I apologize for that, but I think a lot of you guys are going to like what you see tomorrow. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do that. I'll talk to you guys next time.